Hey guys, welcome to Channel Kids Moral Stories.
Once upon a time, in a dense forest, there lived a big, fluffy bear named Benny. Benny was known for his bravery and kindness. One day, a severe storm hit the forest, causing the river to overflow and destroying many homes. Benny decided to embark on a journey to find help. He traveled through the forest, facing many challenges along the way. He crossed rushing streams, climbed steep hills, and encountered fierce creatures. But Benny was not afraid. He used his strength and cleverness to overcome each obstacle. As he journeyed, Benny met various animals who joined him on his quest. There was Max the mouse, who was quick and agile, Sammy the squirrel, who was nimble and fast, and Olga the owl, who had sharp eyesight. Together, they reached the wise old badger's den, who told them about a hidden path leading to the nearby village. The villagers, he said, would have the resources to help the forest animals. Benny and his friends bravely followed the path, facing more challenges until they finally reached the village. The villagers were amazed by the brave bear and his friends. They provided them with food, shelter, and tools to rebuild their homes. Benny and his friends returned to the forest, where they were welcomed as heroes. The animals worked together, using the resources from the village to rebuild their homes and restore the forest. Benny's bravery and determination had saved the day, proving that even the biggest challenges can be overcome with courage and friendship. From then on, Benny was known as the bravest bear in the forest, and his legendary journey was told and retold for generations to come. Like and subscribe channel for more stories, and not forget to press bell icon.
Once upon a time, in a peaceful meadow surrounded by a dense forest, lived a brave rabbit named Benny. Benny was small but quick-witted, with a heart bigger than his fluffy white tail. One sunny afternoon, as Benny was hopping around the meadow, he heard a commotion near the edge of the forest. Curious, he followed the noise and discovered that the animals were gathered around, looking distressed. As he approached, he saw a sly fox named Fergus pacing back and forth, boasting about how he was going to take over the meadow and make all the animals his servants. "Listen up, all of you," Fergus announced. "From now on, you will bring me food every day, or else I will chase you down and eat you myself." The animals trembled with fear. The squirrels chattered nervously, the birds flapped their wings in panic, and the mice scurried to find hiding places. But Benny, despite his small size, felt a surge of courage. He hopped forward and stood before Fergus. "Fergus," Benny declared, his voice steady, "you can't scare us. This meadow belongs to all of us, and we will not be bullied by you." Fergus laughed, a sinister glint in his eyes. "And what can a tiny rabbit like you do to stop me?" Benny knew he had to be smart. He looked around and noticed a thorny bush nearby. "I challenge you to a race through the meadow," Benny said. "If you win, we will do as you say, but if I win, you must leave us in peace forever." Fergus, confident in his speed, agreed to the challenge. The other animals, though worried, admired Benny's bravery and hoped for a miracle.
The race began. Fergus darted ahead, sure of his victory. But Benny had a plan. He led Fergus through the trickiest parts of the meadow, weaving through thick patches of tall grass, and jumping over rocks. As they approached the thorny bush, Benny sped up and squeezed through a narrow gap. He knew well. Fergus, chasing close behind, didn't notice the thorns until it was too late. Fergus yelped as the thorns scratched his fur and slowed him down. Benny took this opportunity to sprint ahead. By the time Fergus freed himself from the bush, Benny had already crossed the finish line, where the animals cheered loudly. Panting and covered in scratches, Fergus admitted defeat. "You win, Benny," he growled, trying to hide his embarrassment. "A deal is a deal. I will leave this meadow and never bother you again." True to his word, Fergus slinked away into the forest, and the meadow was peaceful once more. The animals gathered around Benny, lifting him up and celebrating his bravery. From that day on, Benny was known as the bravest rabbit in the meadow. He taught all the animals that courage isn't about being the biggest or the strongest. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stand up for what is right, no matter how small you are. And so, the animals lived happily, always remembering Benny's lesson. True bravery comes from the heart. Moral of the story: courage is not about size or strength, but about standing up for what is right and facing challenges with bravery and intelligence. Subscribe channel for more stories, and not forget to press bell icon.
There was a wealthy farmer named Jack who owned a lot of land and grew many crops. He was known for being very stingy and loving money. One day, he found a hidden river on his land, which made his farm even more valuable. But instead of sharing the discovery with his community or using the water to help others, Jack kept it a secret and used the river to grow even more crops, keeping all the profits for himself. As time passed, the river's magic went away, and the land began to dry up. Jack's crops failed, and he lost all his wealth. He realized too late that his greed had cost him everything. The community, who had once respected Jack, rejected him, and he was left alone, surrounded by the ruins of his once thriving farm. He finally understood that true wealth comes from sharing, caring, and taking care of the land and relationships. The story teaches us that greed can lead to loss and that only caring about money can have bad consequences. It shows us the importance of sharing, kindness, and community, and reminds us that true wealth is in the relationships we build and the beauty of nature around us. Jack's story became a warning tale told to many, reminding them of the dangers of greed and the power of kindness. Subscribe my channel for more stories.
एक सब्ज़वादी में वाक़े एक छोटे से गांव में सोफिया नामी एक मेहरबान और शरीफ लड़की ने आबशार के पीछे छुपा एक पुरस्रार बाग दरियाफ्त किया। बाग बात करने वाले फूलों, चमकते फवारे और पत्तों के साथ एक शानदार दरख्त से भरा हुआ था जो हीरों की तरह चमक रहा था। सोफिया की मुलाकात लिली नामी दोस्ताना परी से हुई, जिसने इंकिशाफ किया कि ये बाग एक जादुई बादशाहत है जो सदियों से दुनिया से छपी हुई है। लिली ने सोफिया को बताया कि उसे बाग का जादू विरासत में हासिल करने के लिए चुना गया था और ये कि उसके पास एक खास तोहफा था, फितरत के साथ बातचीत करने की सलाहियत। लिली की रहनुमाई के साथ सोफिया ने जानवरों से बात करना, फूलों को लम्स से खिलना और यहाँ तक के मौसम को कंट्रोल करना सीखा। लेकिन पिक्सी नामी एक शरारती इंप ने बाग पर करतब दिखाना शुरू कर दिया, जिससे अफरा तफरी और तबाही फैल गई। सोफिया और लिली पिक्सी को पीछे छोड़ने और बाग में तवाज़ुन बहाल करने के लिए अफवाज में शामिल हुए। रास्ते में इनकी मुलाकात थम्पर नामी एक बहादुर खरगोश, प्रोफेसर हुट नामी एक अक्लमंद बूढ़े अलिफालू और सुनी नामी एक बातूनी तोते से हुई। एक साथ दोस्तों ने अपनी मुश्तरका सलाहियतों को पिक्सी को शिकस्त देने और बाग में अमन वापस लाने के लिए इस्तेमाल किया। सोफिया की मेहरबानी और बहादुरी ने उसे गार्डियन ऑफ दी मैजिकल गार्डन का खिताब दिया और वो बाग के अजायबात की तरफ तवज्जो करती रही, पूरी जमीन में खुशी और जादू फैलाती रही।
Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the rolling hills of a lush countryside, there lived a young girl named Maya. Maya was known throughout the village for her remarkable ability to communicate with the natural world. She could understand the songs of birds, the rustling of leaves, and even the gentle hum of the wind. One day, a wise old sage came to the village seeking Maya's help. The sage explained that a great imbalance had befallen the world, and that the only way to restore harmony was through the power of silence. Maya was skeptical at first, but the sage's words resonated deep within her. She knew that silence was not just the absence of sound, but a profound state of being that could reveal hidden truths and connect us to the very essence of existence. Together, Maya and the sage embarked on a journey to explore the power of silence. They traveled to remote mountains, dense forests, and even vast deserts, seeking out the most silent and sacred places on earth. As they journeyed, Maya learned to quiet her mind and listen to the subtle whispers of the universe. She discovered hidden waterfalls, ancient ruins, and secret gardens, each one revealing a deeper understanding of the transformative power of silence. In the stillness of a moonlit night, Maya heard the soft beating of a hummingbird's wings, and in that moment, she understood the delicate balance of life. In the depths of a silent cave, she felt the ancient wisdom of the earth, and in the quiet of a snow-covered forest, she saw the beauty of impermanence. As Maya's understanding of silence grew, so did her ability to communicate with the world around her. She could sense the emotions of those she met, and her words became a balm to their souls. People sought her out for guidance, and her presence brought peace to troubled minds. Eventually, Maya's journey took her to a great city, where the din of human activity seemed to drown out the very possibility of silence. She walked the bustling streets, her heart filled with the power of silence, and as she did, a strange phenomenon occurred. People began to notice her, and as they did, they too began to quiet their minds. The city's noise receded, and for a brief moment, the world was still. In that instant, the city's inhabitants saw the world with new eyes, and their lives were forever changed. And so, Maya's journey came full circle. She had learned the power of silence, and in sharing it with others, she had brought balance to a world in need. From that day forward, Maya roamed the earth, spreading the gift of silence, and wherever she went, peace and harmony followed.